Roger Line, welcome to Focus on the Fun Stuff.
Well, thank you for having me. This is my very first podcast I've
I
ever
believe
done.
so, which I'm absolutely honoured with, but also very surprised because I've known of you for a couple of years because you were Entrepreneur of the Year in Entrepreneur Circle, but I did see you on stage a couple of weeks ago at the convention, and when I watched you, Roger, I mean, you like kicked off the whole thing post Nigel's keynote. I honestly watched your session. I was like, if I left now, that would be enough, because it was the most real, like, energizing story of actually what you want is achievable. You just follow a plan and make it happen, and your energy was absolutely infectious. So I'm excited to interview you today. You're also known as the Concrete Man from Windsor, which should lead us into, if anybody doesn't know who Roger Line is, what business do you own and run, Roger?
I own a business called Structural Repairs. Like you said, we're based out of Windsor, but we cover the whole of the UK, and we're primarily involved in extending the life of critical infrastructure, and we do bespoke engineering solutions. So if there's something which is difficult, we're very much interested in it, because if it's normal, I get bored.
Which I can imagine being around you even for 15 minutes just now. So the business that you've had now, Structural Repairs, how long have you had that for?
Since 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay. And one of the reasons why I'm excited about today's episode today, because you've had a lot of success. Well, in a very short period of time, your business has absolutely skyrocketed, hasn't it? And you have had previous businesses, but it's been in like the last since 2019, since you joined EC, got a coach, and that's been like the skyrocket for your business.
Yeah, it was 2022 when it really started to happen, when I went to the convention and I joined the master plan program. And because I'm not a businessman, I'm probably not even an entrepreneur, I have a few good ideas, but I didn't have a strategy or know how to make money. And that's what changed everything.
That's really interesting that you say I'm not really an entrepreneur, because I would completely disagree with that, because you've made something out of nothing and you had the idea. Like, most people will have ideas and don't start them, won't they? But you actually... But I do get what you mean, that you needed just some... Well, we all need to learn from people that have had success, don't we? Because that's how we find the plan to do it. So and for anybody listening, like the success that you have now in Structural Repairs is quite phenomenal. That you were, because as I understand it, and you were going from like a 500k a month, 500k turnover.
Yeah, correct.
To like what kind of month turnover you got now?
Last year we did just over 7 million, and now we're doing over 2 million a month.
Wow.
And it's rapidly growing.
Amazing. So we just had a chat before this about our listeners. You know, the podcast is about how you focus on the fun stuff and how you enjoy your business. And I'm also, like, in every episode, we pull out that, well, you've got a lot of success now, which I want to talk about, and I want to delve into how that's happened. But also that, you've had other businesses, haven't you?
Yeah.
And we just talk a little bit about like the pre-entrepreneurial experience you had.
Well, I didn't have a clue. I didn't.
None of us do, Roger.
No. And I think what really made a difference was when I had a coach who told me what to do, and then it became very clear very quickly that I am absolutely rubbish at about 85% of everything in my business, which I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. And then when we sat down and we analysed it, I was spending, that 80% doing stuff which I wasn't good at and I didn't like. And my coach said, why on earth are you doing this stuff? You're spending all your time there and you're no good at it. He said, there's other people out there who will love this stuff and they will be good and competent at it. And as soon as I started to do that, because I disliked that stuff so much, I really grasped, delegating it.
Excited to get rid of it.
Yeah. And
so what was the 15% that you are good at? That you were
probably
like,
just going and chatting to people, coming up with bespoke engineering solutions and figuring out how to fix stuff. And that's what I like doing.
So quite specific, detailed things like bespoke engineering solutions. Yeah. I honestly think most entrepreneurs, they've got their secret sauce, haven't they? And everything else they need to get rid of, and you are the absolute perfect case for delegation. So what the stuff that you got off your plate, what was that? Just pretty much everything?
Yeah, anything to do with like spreadsheets or numbers or health and safety policies, stuff like this, because contracts, I'm just terrible at it. I mean, probably the same as most people. I've got dyslexia and ABDC or whatever it is.
All the letters.
Yeah, and I couldn't read a long contract. I mean, I've never read a book in my life.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I shouldn't tell you this either. I've never listened to a podcast.
No, I love the honesty. I find that really like unbelievable, because in my life with my business, if I've got a problem, I'm like, well, I've got a massive pile of books, not that I've read them all, but by the side of the bed that I'm like, well, I needed something about, team meetings, or I needed something about how my website's going to get found now in the age of AI. Like, I've got this whole thing. So what's been your go-to then?
Because my business coach, I mean, if I want to know something, I'll get him to research it for me. So he'll read the book for
So
me
you're even
and tell me
outsourcing
that.
to him?
Yeah, yeah. Because I have to be careful, because I would get easily distracted.
Right.
I mean, in my car, for example, I've never turned the radio on because that would distract me. I'm always thinking about my next appointment or how I'm going to fix something or things like that.
That's really interesting, because so a lot of my education in my business to prospect clients, because I think a lot of business owners, you start something and you get it so far and you wear all the hats and you want, it's like, they call it like superhero complex, like, well, I can solve it, I can do it, it's quicker to do myself. So you've fully embraced it the other way and gone, even like new things that you need to maybe implement, apply, you've got other people learning
to
about
do
them.
it.
And
I mean, mastermind groups and things like that, and there's people come along and they've read this book, they've done this course, that course, and the other, and I think they just get distracted, where I've got my very singular route of where I'm going, and that's it. I don't turn the TV on ever. I never watch the news. I completely focus on about what do I want and how am I going to get there, and that's what I think about properly 90% of the day.
how interesting. And has that been, so that, do you like class that as a singular reason why in the past, because I understand it's like the last 3 years particularly, you've had such
because
a
I
trajectory
wanted
change.
I wanted it that badly, and that was the difference.
And why did you want it? Like, what changed in terms of wanting it that badly?
Several reasons, really. I think because my father had been successful and he sacked me, and I've been employed since then for a long period of time, and then I'd had my own business, but it was only a job, really. And then I met my beautiful wife, Olga, and then I realised she likes the nice things in life, so I better pull my finger out and get my head down and make stuff happen. Yeah.
Wow. So, so when did you meet your wife, Olga?
In 2019.
Oh, okay. So a lot's happened in the past 6 years.
Yeah.
How amazing.
Yeah.
And just going back to when you said your dad sacked you, so what kind of business did he have?
He had a catering business, and he, like the vending machines you used to see on station platforms and coffee machines, he did all of that. And I didn't fall out with him. He sacked me because we were brought up in a really strict religion, and I broke one of the religion's rules. At the time, I bought a mobile phone, which were banned, and so I got excommunicated from the church, which meant he had to sack me. Otherwise, he would have been excommunicated himself. It's not like I ever fell out with him.
Oh, wow.
It was the fact of the religion's rules.
Wow. And I know you talked about that quite in depth, of like how it kind of, because the rest of your life you spent not contacting or communicating with your family at all.
Never spoken to a single family member again. I haven't got a single relative in this world who will communicate with me because they're all in the religion.
Oh my God. Wow, that's crazy.
That's fine. It's less of a distraction.
And at what point, so you were employed for quite a while, then you did create this business which was concrete, but in a, like digging out basements, much smaller jobs. And when did you start that?
I worked for Michelin Tires for a good number of years, which I really, really enjoyed. And that's when I probably realised how much I enjoyed relationships and selling and things of that nature. And I became very, very passionate about it. And I would never have left. It was only the fact that It wasn't a well-paid job. The tyre industry is notoriously low. I mean, if I'd been in software sales, I'd probably still be doing it. And so I left and I bought a small damp proofing franchise, which I wasn't particularly passionate about, but it paid me better money, which I needed because I had a young family at the time, and that kind of grew into doing basements, which was all right, but it was quite stressful because I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of running the actual business. Constructing the basements, absolutely fine, but in terms of running a business, being profitable and knowing all that aspect of it, I didn't have a clue. I'd never been to university. My school exams were appalling. I got a U in maths because I rebelled and I didn't like school. So I had no skills, business skills at all. And so naturally I struggled.
And you were doing all the things in the business, all the jobs?
Yeah, all of the jobs, doing everything you shouldn't do.
Yeah. And as I understand it, so I want to delve into structural repairs now and like the success that you've had and how that's come about. But the business that you had there, digging out the basements, you also then had a really difficult illness towards the end of it, and you had to close that business.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about that and what you had to cope with there.
So basically, I caught whooping cough as an adult in 2018, and it came to light that I had not been inoculated as a child, the jab you get, because we were in that religion and they believed God would look after you. And so I caught whooping cough as an adult in February, and it just started off as a cough and it got worse and worse and worse. And then in May, it was so bad. I didn't realise it was whooping cough at the time. I got admitted to hospital because I kept blacking out and falling over because of the coughing episodes I was happening. So I ended up in hospital, and I was there for quite a period of time because that developed into pneumonia. And my accountant came to visit me in hospital. I had oxygen mask on, I couldn't talk. And he went away and he closed my business. And I asked him a couple of years later, why did you do that? And he said, because I thought you were going to die. Yeah, so, and then I came out of hospital, and I think it was in about the August, and I was having a lot of coughing episodes still.
Yeah.
And there's a nerve in your throat called your vagal nerve, and that sort of stops the coughing fit, but mine became overactive. So I just go like, and I'd fall over and black out. And so I had to wear a bicycle helmet like 24/7 because I like fractured my skull when I kept falling over because I was blacking out like probably 20 times a day. And they obviously took my driving license off me. I couldn't drive or do anything, and I was just at home all the time. And yeah, it was a difficult period. And I remember on my birthday on the 23rd of November was the first time I had a coughing fit and I didn't black out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for a whole year, I was ill, and then I got my license back in about the following March or April.
So, and then when you got better, were you like, I'm going to go again? I'm going to start a new business?
At the time, because I'd had my, we were doing basements, I had employed a couple of structural engineers, and they were just doing all my own engineering work, and they were also looking at other projects, and then they would come back in after they'd seen an issue on a building, and they said, you know, they would do the report, tell the client what the issues were and how to remedy it. And then they said, the client always said to them, you know, do you know anybody who can fix it? So my engineers came to me and said, well, why don't you start fixing all this stuff?
Right.
And so it wasn't even my idea, structural repairs. It was somebody who worked for me. So we started fixing stuff, and that's how it all started.
My gosh. And you were, I guess, was there even a second, you know, obviously everything you'd just been through, you'd had a business closed down. What was in your mind at that point? Were you a bit
I didn't really have a plan. I was just happy to be alive. And I was right at the bottom of the snakes and ladders board.
Yeah.
You know, I'd lost everything, didn't have any money. And I was just getting by because I had a few employees still. And I didn't have a plan at all. I had absolutely no plan at all. It's just like any work came in, we did it. And I started doing a project in Reading in the High Street where we were doing some crack repairs to the facade of Reading High Street.
Right.
And the company was Ukrainian. And the guy said, cool, you do a good job. He said, you want to go and see my mate in Ukraine. He said he works for the government out there. And he said, some of the skills you've got, you could definitely utilise them out there. And because I was like single and I wasn't doing anything, I thought, oh, that'd be quite nice. Yeah, so I hopped on a flight that weekend and I flew out to Kiev, and I met this guy in a restaurant called Chicken Kiev. Ironically, yeah, he was called Dennis, and he was a really nice guy. And we didn't really get around to discussing work much, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, he took me out. We were having a real good fun, and then the hotel I was staying in, there was this camera crew in there, and we were in there and had a few drinks, been to the bar, and so I went and started talking to them, and he said, oh, we got a speed dating event in this hotel which is being filmed by a German TV company. Would you like to be part of it? Because we're short of people. And so I said, yeah, okay. And so I went on the speed dating event, which was really cool. It was over 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to be like, it was an hour, we did speed dating, but it was over 2 days.
2 days, and there was 8 guys, like 5 Germans, I think, an Austrian, an American, and me. And the Germans were all very, very boring. And you went into a room, and there was probably 150 to 200 women. There was 4 sat at a table, and you just went around these tables for hours. And then when that lot had finished, there was another lot, because there's a massive amount of, a lot more women than men in Ukraine because of historically the wars.
Wars, right,
yeah,
okay.
and I think it was like sort of ratios like 10, 15 to 1. And yeah, and that's where I met Olga, my wife.
Oh my God. I'm getting from this, Roger, that when opportunities presented to you, like, yeah, I'll do that.
Give it a go.
No worries.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is crazy. So you met your wife there. So like, how did you get matched? Did you both have to match each other?
It wasn't that simple. So the way the TV program, it was mainly about the Germans because. And so you went around all these different tables and you sat there. Some of the women didn't speak English, so they had an interpreter. And if they liked you, they'd put their name in this box. So you couldn't choose them. They could only choose you.
Right.
And then, this German guy would be filmed opening his box. And they'd say, who do you like? And he said, oh, I like this girl over there. And they built it all up, and then he opened his box and he's got 3 names in it, and he look at the names, and he didn't have the girl's name he liked or the few he had chosen, and then he had the opportunity to take one of the 3 out who was there, and invariably they'd probably go out on a date. And then so I was last because I was English, and it wasn't that I was the last to join.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit random. And so I opened my box, and it was full up with names. Because apparently the feedback I got, the Germans were so dull and boring.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I walked into the room and I announced I'm here to get married. I'm not leaving until I do. And so I opened my box, and it was literally probably 100 names in there, and they said, who do you like? So I said Olga. I looked through all the names, and she hadn't given me her name.
You are joking.
No.
What?
So I was really pissed off, and I flew back to the UK, and I thought about it, and I thought, no, I'm not leaving it here. So I contacted the organisers of the event, the TV crew, and it was through a local dating agency in Kiev, and I said, can I have Olga's name? And she goes, well, no, I just can't give it to you.
Yeah,
She said, you'd
enough.
have to come out to Kiev again, and it cost you $500. And so I got on a plane the next weekend, and I went back out to Kiev, met her in a restaurant.
Okay, so she was happy to have the date then. She was like...
No, she wouldn't. She hadn't even asked her at this point. So I flew out to meet the agency owner.
Sorry.
But this was the only purpose of going back out there. Gave her my $500, and then she said, "Oh, now I'll ask Olga if
Oh, wow.
she will, meet you." So flew back to the UK again, and then Olga said yes, she would. And then so I flew back out again the following week and that's when I started. That's when I met Olga and we started dating. But then we went into COVID, and which was quite difficult. But we were talking a lot because there was not a lot else to do in COVID at this point. And one afternoon I sat on my balcony and terrace and not a lot to do. Sun was shining. I was having a beer and we were messaging away. And I said to her, "I think we should get married and you should move to the UK." And she replied, bearing in mind she had no idea where I lived, and she replied, "Only if you live near the Queen." And I lived right opposite Windsor Castle.
No way.
So
What?
I sent her
And she was
a
like,
photo. And so I flew out to Ukraine again. Not long after that, we got married in COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you take all the opportunities, and even when there's obstacles in your way, you're finding a way around them.
You just got to keep going, haven't you?
I love that story. Right, we'll get back into business now. It is a key part of it because just before we started the episode, we were just talking about vision boards.
Yeah.
And you made a vision board. What year was it that you made the vision board?
2022, when I went to the convention and I signed up to Master Plan.
Yeah.
And that's step one of it. Have you done Master Plan yourself?
I have in an iteration with Martin Norbury directly, not actually as it is now.
Yeah,
but I
so
have,
step one is like, what do you want your life to look like and what do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
And when I look back now, my initial vision board was very, very limited as to what I properly wanted because I didn't believe I could really achieve a lot.
And at that moment in time, why did you think you couldn't achieve it?
Because I never achieved anything. That's why. I was just going on my previous track record.
Fair enough. Okay, so you've been asked to make this vision board. You're a bit like inside, okay, well, I'll do it, but whatever. It's just a nice thing to have. So what are some of the things, because you've achieved everything on that vision board, haven't you?
No, I haven't achieved everything on my vision board because I've redone my vision board because it's all right to change your terms.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you've changed it, as I understand
Yeah.
it, because you're now like, I can achieve stuff and I've got bigger goals to hit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what I've actually done is, because I've got reasonably competent at delegating, and so I said to my coach, "Look, I'll do exactly what you tell me to do, but you've got to make this happen." So the responsibility for things on my vision board now aren't mine. It's for my business coach to make it happen because
how
I'll
do
do.
you mean?
Well, I've put some pretty crazy stuff on there now, and it's his job to make it happen, not mine. I'll do what he tells me to do, but the responsibility and the burden of it
interesting.
is his, not mine. I don't have to stress about it.
That's an interesting perspective. So, as in, he's saying, well, this is the plan to get there. You just follow the steps.
I'll just follow the plan. I'll get out of bed and do exactly what he tells me to do. You can go and speak to my coach or the master plan team. Not once have I not done exactly what they've told me to do.
So you're a very good student.
Yeah. I wasn't at school, and I realised that wasn't the best plan, so now I've changed my tact.
So I wasn't actually expecting that reply in terms of like you just following the steps that somebody else is giving you.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say, if somebody, because I totally get it. I totally get the vision boarding thing where you're putting stuff on and you've got that doubt in you to go, I would like this, but do I think I'm going to achieve it? No, I don't really, but I'm going to put it on there. Like for anybody that's feeling like that, because clearly you're also a living example now, and we'll get into like how your business has skyrocketed. You're a living example of if you visualize something, if you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Yeah.
I don't know, what would you say to someone that's feeling a bit like you were back in 2021?
Well, I couldn't have achieved it myself. That's what you have to realise, because I'm not that good at business. I mean, you look at Richard Branson and all these people, they're clever, but I'm not. I didn't have the brains I couldn't make the stuff on my vision board happen myself, but I realised that I can delegate it so it can happen, which is easier. It's a lot easier. I don't have to stress, do I? There's no pressure on me. Pressure's on him.
Yeah. I think you definitely do. People listen to this and like, you do yourself a disservice, Roger, because you are making lots of things happen. You are the centre of it, aren't you?
I'm good at spotting opportunities and probably relationships with people.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm sure you've got a vision board. Have you got anything crazy on there? Because you can put whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
And then say, make this happen.
Yeah. So then was it so obviously you just said like you did an upgrade on your vision board. So that upgrade, was it based on you realising, oh God, I am making things happen, I can achieve things?
Yeah, well, I thought, look, I'm paying my monthly fee. I want to get my money's worth. And now when I look at my vision board, I think, God, I feel sorry for my coach. He's under pressure. I mean, I've put 3 pretty wild. Well, they're not that wild. I mean, I want to buy a full-size train, loco, because I like trains a lot.
So whereas people go, I'm going to buy a jet.
I'm going to buy a jet as well.
You're going to buy a jet as well as a train,
but I want to run that as a charter business as well to offset the cost. And I want to buy a super yacht as well, because that's something I've always wanted to do, and I'll run that as a charter business as well, because everything I get involved in now, it has to make money. And like, I would never go away on holiday if I didn't think I could make money out of it. Like when we went to Gran Canaria, we went to the shopping mall and I saw all this defective concrete. So I went back, got a Spanish interpreter, and then we found the holding company of the shopping mall was in Germany, and now we've just quoted to do the repair work, and it looks like we're going to get it.
Oh my God.
So wherever we go on holiday, I'm always looking for an opportunity. So because it's more fun, isn't it? Because I like fixing stuff.
It is, definitely. And honestly, Roger, like when you say I know you say you couldn't have done this without everybody else, but they couldn't have done it without you, because like that story there, like that's not normal for most people, is it? Like that's next level opportunity that you're opening up, and it's and detail almost. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well, I genuinely like fixing stuff, so I'm always looking for opportunities, and I like boats, so we've like targeted the business doing marine and coastal work, because then we have to buy boats because it's fun. Well, I like transportation. I mean, we had an inquiry yesterday which looks like it may very well go ahead, and it's to repair a runway in Dubai, which is 2 miles long. And so it's kind of makes it fun, doesn't it? If you're passionate about what you're doing, it involves travel as well. I like traveling.
So, okay, perfect. Because we were like obviously focusing on the fun stuff. Part of this is like making your business so that you're doing things that you also enjoy. So, I just want to dive into, because one of the things you've done is absolutely, I think most business owners will go, wow, I can't believe that you've brought this person into your business. So the train sets, can we just talk about what you've done there? Because honestly, again, Roger, you keep saying that like you couldn't have done this on your own, but there's so much evidence of your ideas are just phenomenal. So just tell everybody about the train sets, the marketing, the guy that you've employed. God knows how you found him and recruited him.
So we was in that religion, so we didn't really have many toys as a child. So now I'm in a position where I thought, I'm going to do some fun stuff for myself, like all the things I didn't have. And I decided, what it was, because I fixed concrete, I follow this guy online, Francois.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The train guy.
Yeah, the train guy. So I was watching one of his little video clips, and I saw him go and visit some rail terminal, and he walked over to this train and he goes, oh, my favourite loco, and it was called Concrete Bob. I thought, bloody hell, that's cool. I didn't know there was a train called Concrete Bob. And so then I looked it up online and I found a model rail, model rail train
Right.
of concrete bob. So I bought it. And then I thought, I'll get a little track and I'll take some videos of this train going around. And then I thought, well, what I could do, I was targeting Shell at the time.
As a prospect.
Potential client,
Yeah.
yeah. And so then I bought some like Shell tankers to go behind this train, and I sent a video clip to this guy at Shell. And I think that's where it all started, because he came back and goes, oh, that's quite cool. So then I thought, right, I'm going to get a bigger model railway. And I went through a phase of being bloody stupid because I hadn't thought it through very well. And I went and bought this model railway, and it was huge. It was this club layout one, and it was absolutely massive, and I even had to get rid of some staff so I could move their offices out to fit this model railway in. It was ridiculous. And so I had it all installed, and then it was big, but I didn't really like it. And then I thought, what I'll do is I will build one bespoke with all the stuff that we actually repair, like critical infrastructure, like sewage treatment works, bridges, and stuff like this.
At this point, were you still thinking, this is just really fun? Are you thinking,
Yeah, it was fun.
I can see an avenue to use this for the business?
Yeah.
You're just thinking it was fun?
No, I was thinking I would, at this point, I thought, no, I would target my customers with it, because I figured out you could rename all the engines, locos, and then I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll put the people's names on the side of them, and then send them a video clip. And my God, it's worked so well, to be fair. So then I started building a big model railway, like bespoke one, and I started to do it, and I realised I'm not really very good at this. I've never built a model railway before. And so I went online and I found this guy who's quite famous and puts a lot of video clips up. And I thought, well, maybe I can get him in to give me a few lessons of how to do it. And he lived in Swindon, so he came up to Windsor for the day to have a look. And he goes, wow, that's a cool project, what you're doing there. And I said, so can you give me some lessons? And he goes, yeah. He said, I've just stopped working at the moment. He's only like 50. He said, I'm taking a year off. He said, I've had a really, really highly stressful job doing project management and logistics.
Right.
And so I said to him, so how about you start building my model railway for me? And so that's how it started. So I ended up employing him full-time, and now he works for me full-time.
Wow.
And, yeah.
I mean, talk about Delegation 101. Like, there is nothing that you are not delegating.
No, so he joined, and he was brilliant. So he built the majority of the railway. And then we were talking about work, and then I realised he'd done project management, and I had a role in operations. So, and his attention to detail was absolutely unbelievable, as you can imagine, from the railway. And so now I've actually moved him, and he's head of my operations now.
Oh my gosh, wow, really?
Yeah, and which is the good and bad. The bad bit is that he hasn't quite finished my railway because he's so focused on what he should really be doing now. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We're doing an exhibition at the end of this month at the National Civil Show, and we're building a bespoke layout to take to that. And we'll have all the types of infrastructure refixed there. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I love that, Roger. And I just want to ask you a question on deciding to get him in, because I know from just myself, my own business, speaking to hundreds of business owners, people deciding to employ someone I think it's a very slow process for a lot of people. It's like, oh, it's an additional cost. What will they do? Are they going to be any good? Like, in your head, you employed someone to build a model railway in the business. What was your thought process on that?
My thought process was pretty simple, really. I thought, right, to employ him, I mean, I'm paying him 60 grand a year with a company car. So it wasn't insignificant, but it was such a distraction from what I should be doing. Because I was trying to do it myself, and then all I was thinking about was, I want to do the next bit on my model railway. And then it was coming to weekends, and Olga's going, should we go out for the day? And I'm making up really feeble excuses so I can go and build some more of my model railway. So like Olga was very, very much for me employing somebody to build it full time.
Oh yeah, I get Roger back.
Yeah.
That is possibly the best story I've ever heard on delegation, and you keep mentioning the same word about distraction, and that is clearly so key, and it's so key to most business owners.
Yeah, but the other thing I would say about it, which I didn't really realise, I mean, everybody in business has like difficult times. It's not always fun every single day of the week.
No, it's
but Martin Norbury said something, because he came down and he like saw my railway, and he turned around and he said, "You need something like this to feed your soul." And for me, it's been absolutely fantastic distraction.
Gosh.
Yeah.
What a great term that is, because also it's obviously had a marketing return.
Yeah, it has. So it's justified itself.
So tell us about that, what you've been doing there, because that's also flipping genius.
Well, recently, I mean, I went and we had a proposal out for a customer. It kind of got approved at a high level, and then it got down to the level at which it would get implemented. And I went and saw the guy, and he was quite frosty because he had his regular contractors who had undertook this work. So I started chatting to him, and I found out he had a 6-year-old boy, and then I found out he was going on the watercress line with his boy that weekend on a steam loco called Sir Nigel Gresley. And so I told him about my model railway, and he was a lot more happy. And I found out his boy was called Rory, and then I bought that actual loco and I put his son's name on it, and I made a load of video clips and sent it to him, and now we got the best relationship ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you've now got this whole market, and are you still using this marketing strategy in your business?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. And we invite more and more people in to our, come in and see us as a business.
Yeah.
Because we like building relationships, we like having fun. So we'll invite companies in now for like half a day of team building. And so they'll come in, we'll give them a little presentation about what we do. And then we've got a laboratory at work, so we can go in and test concrete, show them how we fix it. And then we play with the model railway. And then Olga will come in and provide lunch, because we got a bar at work called the Crumbling Concrete Bar. And when I was drunk, I bought the oldest building in Windsor and Eton called the Cockpit, which dates back to 1440,
right,
which we're actually renovating at the moment. And we take everybody over there and give them a tour of it, because it's really, really famous.
And what are you going to do with that?
We're going to open it as Airbnb and potentially as a medieval tavern.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's where King Charles I used to go with all his mistresses, and they used to do cockfighting there. It's got a special floor in the back, which is made out of sheep's bones, and it's got the village stocks in it, and a whipping post from 1760, which they used to tie you to and give you a good beating. So I thought I'd have it as like a bit of a tourist attraction, because it's between Windsor Castle and Eton College, and there was a candle maker there since 1661 called William West, and so now Olga makes William West candles, so we'll have a gift shop there as well. Wow. And things like that. Yeah. And in this little room at the back, because I had like this village stocks and whipping posts, I thought, what can we do with this? Because it's like really interesting room and it's famous. So I thought maybe I'll get a few old waxwork figurines and put somebody in the stocks and tie them to the whipping posts. So I phoned up Madame Tussauds and I said, I don't suppose you got any old waxwork figurines, have you? And they said, well, yeah, actually, we got 20,000 in storage. What are you thinking? So I told them, looks like potentially I'll do a joint venture with Madame Tussauds, and in the back of it, because Madame Tussauds used to be in Windsor. They used to have a place in the station before.
Did they really?
Yeah. So,
Roger, I just like you. I feel like there's no barrier in you to go, oh, but. So, like, I think a lot of business owners will go, right, wax figures, where am I going to get them from? And it becomes this really prolonged thing that they procrastinate on. And I just see, again, you say that you're not an entrepreneur and stuff, but I just see, like, action from you all the time.
Yeah, I like
you just ring people up and go, oh, have you got any wax figures?
Like, you don't know until you ask, do you?
No.
I mean, it's in a great location. It's halfway between Windsor Castle and Eton College. So, I mean, could be the third biggest tourist attraction in in the area. And then you see those brown signs on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
And so I contacted
Like
the
places of
highway.
interest.
Yeah, so I contacted the highways agency and said, like, can I have a brown sign? And they said, no, you can't have one of those. You can only have one if you're in 5 categories: amusement park, this, that, and the other. And one of them though was ancient building. So I said, well, this falls under that. It's 1440. So they go, well, we're going to have to investigate this to see if it's right or not. We don't think it is. So they came back and they said, well, actually, you're eligible for a brown sign. You can have one off the M4 and off the M3. But they said you'll absolutely destroy Eton. He said there's so many people follow the brown signs. They wake up and then there's a new one. They said Eton will be absolutely overrun. Yeah.
So what's happening with the brown sign?
Well, I might put one up. Who knows? Cause a bit of traffic chaos. Why not?
Honestly, Roger, I love the way that you just don't know how to do, like everything's possible. You don't know till you don't act, till you find out, I guess, ultimately. I just feel like there's something in you that's not going, oh, but what about this? Or, that'll never happen. Do you know, there's so many business owners I know that'll be listening to this will going, God, Roger's just ringing people up and finding out if it's possible.
Well,
I'm sitting at home and thinking about it.
There's so many opportunities you can do. Have you ever tried speaking to your local MP?
No.
I speak to mine all the time. He's been around the building and some of our products, which are, fairly innovative. He's taken them to Parliament now. These people are all after a bit of self-promotion themselves, aren't they? So anything you've got which is a little bit different, they're very much supportive. I met the MP in Doncaster last week because we're opening a factory in Doncaster now.
Really?
Manufacturing our products, which is exciting. I've never had a factory before, so I'm really excited about this.
So just to go back to some tactical stuff then, because what I'm seeing is that you have delegated everything pretty much from you, and that is then enabling you to, seek out opportunity, make things happen. But also, it seems to me like you have the thinking space. You have the space to go, oh, what about that? Oh, what about that? Do you know, when you're in the weeds and you're fully doing all the shit and you're it's just draining, isn't it? And you're...
Yeah, because I realised I can't do that.
Yeah.
And why would I want to do it? Because I'm no good at it.
Yeah.
I'm just really no good at that stuff.
Yeah.
You always say you should employ people better than yourself, which is so simple for me because everybody's better than me.
at some of the things, yeah.
And it makes my life easy.
Yeah. And so was that just on that then? Because if people are going, wow, I get it, Roger's offloaded everything. He's focusing on what he's best at, which is spotting opportunity, marketing ideas, connecting and making people aware of structural repairs. So that process of delegating stuff, because I know that in a lot of people's minds, they'll be like, oh my God, yeah, but Roger, I don't want to create the process to do the thing, or I don't want to train all these people. How was that process for you?
Get somebody else to do it. Get your business coach to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that, yeah?
I get my business coach, he does my reviews on my staff. They help me hire, they help me fire, because I've had to change my staff a few times because it's a bit like football, isn't it? You start off, you're in the conference lead, and then you want to go up and start playing in the third division. Your players, your striker, when you're in the conference lead, is not good enough for the third division. So then you have to change them. You can't afford a Premiership striker, and you can't attract one at that point either, because they wouldn't come to you because you're not good enough for them. But then you can go from the third division to the second division. You have to change your staff again, and that's how it is. And so that's what we've had to go through, which isn't the easiest thing. But if you really want to go to over there, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. And so have you got plans, or you might already have this, because clearly your business coach is doing a lot, which sounds amazing. But have you got plans then to formulate, or is it happening a leadership team who's going to be doing the things that the business owner's doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a very strong one in place.
Oh, you do already? And
it's being
formulated
at the moment, and I think even you will fall off your chair when you find out what it is, because it is very exciting.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Is that a early next year thing it's going to be announced? Or
Yeah,
like...
probably. Yeah, maybe before.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Excited for that. So, because not everybody has a business coach who's going to do all these things for them, but ultimately you're saying you just need to find someone that takes the role of hiring, firing, training. I guess almost like an operational person, an operational role that they're supporting with.
I mean, I like structure more than what you probably think. You probably think I'm a bit of a lunatic. But I'd like to get out of bed in the morning and know what I'm going to be doing that day.
Yeah.
And to do it really, really well. And how can we improve it? And because you have to be the best if you want to get to the top.
Yeah.
And like I told you, that's all I think about is where do I want to go and how am I going to get there? And if you think about that all day long, every day, you'll get there.
There's no reason why you can't get there. And I guess it's also being about super crystal clear on where you're going as well. And just on that then, so just prior to when we started chatting, we talked about you're on the master plan program and your business is extremely successful. So I would assume you're at the end of the program, and you were saying to me that actually you've kind of gone back a few steps. And I just wanted to...
Yeah, so the program's been really, really good for me. And I've known people who have done it in 6-8 months, like all 9 steps. I did step 1. I was in step 2 for 18 months because in step 1 you put what you want, the stuff you want, and step 2 is your numbers, which has to deliver your stuff in step 1. And even though my stuff in step 1 wasn't mad at that time, when I got to step 2, I realised you couldn't deliver my stuff in step 1. So I was there for a year and a half, and I had to change my whole business so it could deliver what it was. And then I got through I've been in there for over 3 years now, and I got to step 3 because I joined Masterplan because of Andy Wilcox. Do you know Andy?
Yes, I do know him.
Yeah, and like I mentioned when I did that talk, I wasn't going to join it because I was very much on the fence, and he was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, it's not really going to work for me. And he was telling me all the stuff, and I wasn't really bought into it at all. Yeah. And I joined it really properly for not the right reasons at all. It was when we were chatting, and I found out that I came from Taunton, and he used to work in Taunton, and then I found out that he had always drank in the same pub called the Gardener's Arms. And when he told me that, I thought, okay, I'll trust you.
We're friends, yeah.
Yeah, we're friends, and that's why I joined Masterplan. So I joined it because I thought I like Andy. So Andy does step 5. So I thought, right, I'm going to race through the first 4 steps and get to step 5. But no, I'm in step 1 again because every time you have bigger ambitions, you have to go back and rebuild your foundations again.
So true. Yeah. And you said that you like structure. So can we just talk a little bit about like what Roger's week looks like? So in terms of how you spend your time, are you quite specific about, I need, Nigel talks about his 90 minutes or, deep focus work, or is it Roger's got an open calendar to seek out opportunity and make shit happen?
My business coach is very specific about what my week is.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's tasked with. And my week is just opportunities, seeing potential customers and coming up with bespoke engineering solutions, because that's what I like doing.
And is your calendar, but is like the time carved up into, Friday, Roger's solving bespoke engineering problems, or how does it?
A lot of our work comes in and is quite urgent. It's either falling down or falling down, so it's a lot of it short notice.
Right.
So, yeah, and I quite like that as well, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I guess the key thing is you've got the time available to do that.
I had an urgent from one of our good clients coming just now. I went to Netherlands for them a few weeks ago, and I'm off to Ireland. They want me to go as fast as possible, so I might hop on a plane tomorrow and go to Kilkenny.
Okay, so I guess the key thing is you've got rid of kind of almost all of the business operational processes to a point
everything of that will be completely
gone. So actually,
gone.
Roger's time is free now to react to opportunity and problem.
And I bring my new structure, which I briefly mentioned, it will be gone forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, what will be gone forever? Like
everything that I'm no good at, I won't be distracted by it at all. I'll just be focused on doing what I'm good at, which is just that small amount of seeing clients, building relationships, and figuring out bespoke engineering solutions and spotting opportunities.
Yeah. And this hour has flown and we're coming to the end of our time, but I just wanted to ask you then, because the big thing that I've taken away a lot, but that distraction piece and being laser focused on what you actually want, you make sure that nothing comes in the way.
No, I mean, yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I don't know what your routine is, but I do the same thing every single morning, or I think the same thing as soon as I get out of bed, and that is I have to go fast. And I went through a phase, where you do your 90 minutes. When going back probably a year ago, I really enjoyed doing my 90 minutes, and then I had to do all the rest of the stuff for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And it was at that point I thought, what I'll try to do is I'll do all my stuff for the rest of the day in the 90 minutes. So I've got the rest of the day to do your 90 minutes.
I love that. Switch around.
And so I would get out of bed and I could consistently do every single email in a minute. I could set myself a minute to do an email, and I'd just go through it as fast as I possibly could. So that's what I think. As soon as I get out of bed, I have to go fast. No messing around, bump.
And with that then, I just need to ask one more question before we wrap up then. So going fast means you're implementing, it means you're not procrastinating, it means you're just taking action. How do you balance that with, do you ever think, oh gosh, I really need to, rest this weekend because I'm feeling a bit burnt out? Or is it, do you know in terms of managing, enjoying it and not being Roger's absolutely wrung out now? How do you manage that with going fast?
I'm kind of all right. I struggle to relax properly because I'm always thinking about how am I going to get there. We went away on holiday. We thought we were just going to have a relaxing 10 days by the pool, and we got there, we got to the pool. Within 20 minutes, I was bored, so I'd hired a moped and went off around the island.
Yeah, which is just who you are then, also, isn't it? You doing things and finding out things.
Yeah.
Roger, it feels like, and I just want to re-caveat, so when you joined the Master Plan program, which has been pretty game-changing for your business, it was was it 8, because you said that it took a long time to get the numbers done, it was 18 months in.
Yeah.
So has it been the last 18 months where things have really skyrocketed?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? And if your step 2 can't deliver your step 1, it's never going to happen. And I was always in, I want to go fast, get through the program as fast as possible because I thought that would give me a better result. And now I realise that it won't.
Yeah.
And so I'm in absolutely no rush. Maybe I'll never get beyond step 3, maybe step 4, I don't know.
But you need to build the foundations.
Yeah, that bottom row, those bottom 3 blocks are so important.
Yeah. And how old are you now, Roger?
57.
50. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I just think also hats off to you. Some people will give up on stuff. I just think you're just such the most amazing example that you can just make things happen at any point.
You need a teacher, though. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
We've all been there, haven't we? Sort of the long, lonely nights with the empty bank account and all of this. And I thought, I never want that again. So, no, I don't intend to ever return there.
Roger, you've been an absolute dream today on the podcast. I've enjoyed our conversation so much. If anybody wants to find you, reach out, just learn more about what you do, where can they find you best?
Just email me through the website, yeah.
And so what's the website address?
It's structuralrepairs.com, and my email's roger@structuralrepairs.com. Amazing. Yeah, I'm always happy to help anybody as well. And you're all welcome to come and visit our offices in Windsor and have a drink at the Crumbling Concrete Bar. I host the EC meetings there every month, so you're welcome to come to one.
To do a visit.
Play with a train.
Yeah. Roger, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.